Hello everyone, welcome to another race of the NR2003 Winston Cup Series season. I am NR2003. I'm bringing you full coverage of today's race. Danny Wells will start on the pole and James Silverfox will start on the outside alongside him. Let's get this something many laps race underway. Here at Darlington, by the way.
Drivers, start your engines.
And that's the command. Forgot to mention where we're at. We're at the Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina for the running of the Southern 500. Let's get you the top 10 starting line for today's race. You got Danny Wells and James Silverfox on road number 1. Road number 2, we have Zachary Lombard and Charles Jackson. Road number 3, we have Joshua Mudd and Joseph Lombard. In road number 4, we have Robert Henny and Caleb Phillips. And road number 5 is Cole Daly and Justin Perry. So Danny Wells starts in the pole. Points leader Joseph Lombard comes in here with a 98-point lead over Caleb Phillips. He will start in 6th. Last week's the defending winner here at Darlington is Cody Lamas. He actually starts back in the 29th spot, so not a good qualifying run for him. He got involved in an incident last week at Bristol. Oh, hey, hold on 1 second. Speaking of problems and incidents, Shane Varnado has blown the motor before the start of this race. Oh my goodness, and he's going to stop in turn 3. No, he's still going, but folks, he's blowing the motor. Wow, okay, so obviously things are not starting well off for Shane Varnado, but we got to get this race underway. Pace car is off. We'll get word on what's happening to Shane Varnado. Danny Wells and James Silverfox will lead them down to the green flag for 37 laps here at Darlington. And we are underway, green flag here at Darlington. Danny Wells would come off turn number 4 and he would lead the first lap. And look at this, Zachary Lombard in the 48 car going for the race lead. He passes Danny Wells. What a nice move. And Joshua Mudd going for the 2nd spot. Zachary Lombard's got to win this season. He won at Watkins Glen just a few weeks ago. He's now the leader. Joshua Mudd just grabbed the 2nd spot. And now Danny Wells, poster, falls back to 3rd. James Silverfox started in 2nd. He fell back all the way to 4th. Wasn't all the way back, but 2 spots. Doesn't look like we have any more battles as of right now. May have one right here, though. No, I thought James Silverfox was going to pull out. Besides Danny Wells. I tell you what, Joshua Mudd in that 8 car doesn't have a win this season, and he's going to try to go for the race lead soon on Zachary Lombard. Battle for 3rd. James Silverfox got by him. Robert Henny's getting by Danny Wells. Now RJ Bishop getting around Danny Wells. We might have a battle for the race lead here, folks. Here comes Joshua Mudd in the 8 car, going for the race lead on Zachary Lombard. Like I mentioned, Joshua Mudd does not have a win this season yet. He wants to get a win today. And it doesn't look like he's going to make the move on Zachary Lombard. Look at the top 5 join the mix. Here comes Joshua Mudd once again for the race lead. Like I said earlier, Joshua Mudd does not have a win. Zachary Lombard does, so Joshua Mudd is hungry for one. But Zachary Lombard gets that good run up on the outside lane. He may not give up this lead. And he has to, because Zachary Lombard got shoved up to the outside way high. He's going to lose 4 spots, basically. James Silverfox went by him. Robert Henny. Danny Wells went by him. And now Zachary Lombard's dropped to 5th. Now Joshua Mudd is the race leader. Want to point out before the start of this race that Shane Varnado in the 99 car had a blew a motor before this race even started. They were on the pace laps down the back straightaway, and he blew a motor. And he's gone to the garage area, and he will not come back to the racetrack. He will finish. He will have basically a DNF and did not start in this race, folks. So he will finish 42nd in this race. So that's a tough break for Shane Varnado. 30 laps to go here at Darlington. Joshua Mudd is your leader. James Silverfox second. Robin Henry third. Danny Wells fourth. And Zachary Lombard in fifth. Actually, the top 5 has pulled away from the rest of the field. Let's see if we can find some battles here. We may have one here. Nope. Chris Darlington in the 4 car trying to pass Charles Jackson for the 10th spot. Your points leader, Joseph Lombard, fell back to 13th. He started in 6th. Daniel Smith's trying to turn this race here after he blew a motor last week at Bristol. We'll see. Back up front. No change up front. Joshua Mudd still your race leader. James Silverfox second. Robin Henry third. Lap 10 in this race. So your top 5 as of right now, Joshua Mudd leads, James Silverfox second, Robin Henry third, Danny Wells fourth, and Zachary Lombard in fifth. We might have a battle for the 4th. Nope. Then you got RJ Bishop 6th, Cole Daly 7th, Caleb Phillips 8th, Chris Darlington 9th, and Don Cast routes up the top 10. Looks like every driver has spread it out here. As you see the cars go by. The pace car. When we were here the last time, it was basically battles all around. But it looks like everyone's spread it out, that not a lot of battles here. So, don't know, folks. Don't know. Let's go through the field some more. Wow, we do got battles back here, though. Ryan Marin, last week's winner at Bristol, is running in the 27th spot. Doesn't look like he's going to have a great race here today. Look at these battles back here. Holy crap, they're all over the place. Wow, look at Ty Norton getting shuffled up to the outside lane. Ty Norton blew a motor at Bristol, and looks like he's going to be finishing in the back of the field, so not a good day for him. Bruce Viviani rounds out the last in the back of the field. Still no change up front, though. And may be like this for a while, too. Because Joshua Mudd's got a... He doesn't have a big lead, but he has basically about 1 or 2 car lengths over James Silverfox and Robin Henny. So how about let's find some battles back here. Oh, wait, here we go. Got a battle for the 4th spot. Zachary Lombard is trying to pass Danny Wells for the 4th spot. And there you see Cole Daly has joined in the mix. And looks like Zachary Lombard will take the 4th spot away. Cole Daly takes the 5th spot away. As you see, Danny Wells gets shuffled up to the outside. Here comes Caleb Phillips for the 6th spot. And Danny Wells starting on pole. And looks like he's going to get shoved up to the outside. It looks like he's going to fall back to 8th soon. If RJ Bishop gets around him. No change up front. There's Joseph Lombard, your points leader. He's in 11th right now. He just moved up a couple of spots just a little while ago. RJ Bishop now going for the 7th spot on Danny Wells. So Danny Wells started on pole, but it looks like he's not holding his ground to stay up to the front. He's going to fall back some more spots. Look at that. Tell you what, that outside lane just does not work today, but... Yep. I mean, look at this. Folks, the last time we came here, it was basically anyone could win this race. But it's just only a 3-car battle. I mean, you got these 3 drivers, and then 2 seconds back is Zachary Lombard, Cole Daly, And you go back to 3 seconds back, it's basically Caleb Phillips and RJ Bishop and Chris Darlington and everyone else. Danny Wells keeps dropping more positions. He's falling back. He's about to fall back outside the top 15, folks. So I don't know what's going on with Danny Wells. Battle for the 4th spot, though. You got Cole Dowley trying to pass Zachary Lombard. By the way, 20 laps to go. And there you see Cole Dowley makes the pass. Also, Caleb Phillips went for the 5th spot on Zachary Lombard. So Zachary Lombard falls back to the 6th spot. So 20 laps to go. There you see your leader, Joshua Mudd. James Silverfox 2nd, Robert Henney 3rd, Zachary Lombard 4th, Cole Dowley 5th, Caleb Phillips 6th, Chris Darlington 7th, RJ Bishop 8th, Joseph Lombard 9th, and Don Capps rounds up the top 10. How about Joshua Mudd, man? He's had an up and down season. Haven't heard really much about him throughout the season. I mean, we talk about him every once in a while, but... And remember I mentioned last week at Bristol that it would be great if both Josh Mudd and Zoe Mudd gets a win. Zoe Mudd has 2 wins this season, and that was back at Charlotte and New Hampshire. It'd be great if Joshua Mudd gets a win here today, and they would both have wins. They are both related. Speaking of Zoe Mudd, see if we can find her. There she is. Zoe Mudd is right now back in the 21st spot. Like I mentioned, Zoe Mudd came into this race 10th in the points. So, like I mentioned earlier, and mentioned at Bristol last week, that Zoe Mudd has 2 wins, but Joshua Mudd does not have wins. So if they both get a win this season together, that would be very special. I mean, we already got 2 related brothers won this season. Joseph Lombard and Zachary Lombard. Joseph won at Sonoma and Zachary won at Watkins Glen. Joseph running in 9th right now and Zachary Lombard running in 6th. And also Joseph Lombard is your points leader coming into this race with a 98-point lead. Caleb Phillips, by the way, is 2nd in points. He is in the 5th spot, so if he finishes ahead of Joseph Lombard, Caleb Phillips is in 5th and Joseph Lombard 9th. Caleb Phillips could close in the points lead to that points lead. He won't be the points leader, but he would basically be closer. 15 laps to go, by the way. And also, after this race will be Richmond, and that will determine who will make the chase. Only 10 drivers will make the chase, folks, so if you're not in the top 10 in points, I suggest you to race as hard as you can. Although, you know what? The top 10 in points makes it in, and also there's going to be 2 wildcard spots. So, hopefully, if you are in the top 10 points and also the next 2 winners below, outside the top 10 in points, you will make the chase. We will see, though. So no battles. This kind of sucks because last time, like I said, we came... I mean, there's battles in the back of the pack. But like I mentioned, last time we came here at Darlington, there were battles all over the place. Looks like Cole Dowley just went by Charles Jackson. This is for the... I don't know what position this is for, to be quite honest with you. That's for the 27th spot. There you see Ryan Marin, the winner from Bristol. Just moved up to the 28th spot. Daytona 500 champions back here. Tim Vigo, Ryan Richards. Dylan Young that finished 2nd at Bristol. Brian Paschnak, Steven Gonzalez, Trent Dunham, Dylan Poteet's back there. A lot of good drivers back here. I'm not sure if Robert Henney is playing games with James Silverfox, because it looks like at certain points of this race, Robert Henney has a shot of going for the 2nd spot on James Silverfox. I'm not sure if he's waiting to the end of this race to get the 6th spot. But if Robert Henny wants to get a win, Robert Henny does not have a win. James Silverfox doesn't have a win either this season, I don't think, if I can't recall. Sometimes I have short-term memory, folks. But anyway, these 3 drivers don't have wins. One of them is going to take the win. Also, it may most likely be Joshua Mudd. 10 laps to go in this race, folks. Joshua Mudd leads. James Silverfox 2nd. Robert Henny 3rd. Cole Daly 4th. Caleb Phillips 5th. Zachary Lombard 6th. Chris Darlington 7th. RJ Bishop 8th. Joseph Lombard 9th. And William Cervantes rounds up the top 10. James Silverfox and Robert Henny running 2nd and 3rd. Doesn't seem they can catch Joshua Mudd. Joshua Mudd's been dominating in this race. How about let's go on board with Joshua Mudd. You see out the back, there's James Silverfox. Then you've got James Silverfox running in 2nd. It just does not seem that James Silverfox has anything for Joshua Mudd, but there's still plenty of time left. 8 laps to go in this race. It's basically, like I said, a 3-car breakaway, and then you got Cole Daly, who is 2.6 seconds back. And look at here, it looks like Caleb Phillips has fallen back. Chris Darlington and RJ Bishop just went around him. Zachary Lombard also is fell back. So they both fell back 8th and 9th in this race, folks. I believe that's where they're at right now. Yep. No, 7th and 8th. I don't know what's happened to Joseph Lombard in the last few laps. He was actually running 9th just a little while ago. He's back 13th now. So, yet he'll still have a comfortable points lead coming out of Darlington, though. 6 laps to go. You know what? There may have been a little incident, actually, between, oops, I'm going the wrong way. Between Caleb Phillips and Zachary Lombard, actually, because I saw some tire marks in turns 1 and 2, or in turns 1. We'll go as soon as we go by to the next time. By the way, we got 5 laps to go and Joshua Mudd leads, but watch the tire marks as we come by here. Right there, you see right there? There's tire marks right there, so I don't know if these two made contact, which really fell him back. Dropped a couple spots, but we'll find out. Maybe after this race, I'll see if we get a peek of what happened. 4 laps to go this time by, folks. How about that? Joshua Mudd leading with 4 laps to go in this race. Joshua Mudd, like I mentioned earlier, you haven't heard much about him all season long. Every once in a while we talk about him because he's making some move and everything, or he's been involved in an accident. Like he got involved in that big accident at Pocono just a few races ago. But no, Joshua Mudd has had a quiet season. 3 laps to go, by the way. Joshua Mudd leads. James Silverfox second, Robert Henny third. But would that be great if Joshua Mudd also gets a win this season? Because Zoe Mudd, and they're both related, they both have a win this season, and Zoe Mudd is running back in the 19th spot. She's got 2 wins this season, Charlotte and New Hampshire. And Joshua Mudd does not have a win in that 8 car. Will he get the first one today? 2 laps to go here at Darlington. We already had 2 related brothers got a win this season. Joseph Lombard at Sonoma and Zachary Lombard at Watkins Glen. Zachary running 8th and Joseph running 13th at the moment. Folks, it doesn't look like James Silverfox and Robert Henny has anything for Joshua Mudd, as we're going to come to the white flag this time by here at Darlington. White flag is out. final lap here at Darlington. Can Joshua Mudd win the race and get his first win of the season? He's dominated all race long. Got the lead earlier from Danny Wells. Down the back straightaway for the final time. In the turns 24, folks, Zoe Mudd's got 2 wins. And it looks like Joshua Mudd's also going to have a win in his stat this season. Joshua Mudd in the 8 Budweiser Chevrolet wins the Southern 500 here at Darlington. James Silverfox second, Robert Henney third, Cole Dowley fourth, Chris Darlington fifth. Rounds out top 5. But congratulations once again to Joshua Mudd on winning the Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway. Good, dominating performance by him. Dominating performance. So, let's check the race results. Joshua Mudd wins here at Darlington. James Silverfox second, Robert Henney third, Cole Dowley fourth, Chris Darlington fifth, RJ Bishop sixth, Caleb Phillips seventh, Zachary Lombard eighth, William Cervantes ninth, and Tyler Everest rounds out the top 10. Jesse O'Gean 11th, Jesse Kohler 12th, Joseph Lombard points leader finishes 13th. Joshua Collar 15th, Cody Lama 17th, your defending Darlington winner, or not anymore. Danny Wells, pole sitter, fell back to 18th. Don't know what happened with him. Zoe Mudd finishes 19th. I bet she knows that Joshua Mudd got the win today. And Tim Welch rounds out 20th. Tyler Brudente 21st, Mike West 23rd, Joshua Balwick 24th, Tim Figo 25th, Justin Perry 26th, Ricky Kennedy 28th, Ryan Richards 29th, and Ryan Marin finishes 30th, last week's winner at Bristol. 31st is Seth Cole, 32nd Bruce Viviani, 34th is Trent Dunham, 35th Dylan Poteet, 38th is Steven Gonzalez, Charles Jackson 39th, and Ty Nine rounds out 40th, and Brian Pasternak finishes 41st in this race. Now this was during the pace laps. Look what happened to Shane Varnado. Just all of a sudden blows the motor. And this was on the pace laps before the beginning of this race, so obviously Shane Varnado blew a motor. He never got to be part of this race today. Now remember when I mentioned earlier that Caleb Phillips and Zachary Lombard has possibly made contact? Well, they did. This was with 10 laps to go. Both Caleb Phillips and Zachary Lombard both went hard into the outside wall. I was wondering why Caleb Phillips and Zachary Lombard were going so slow around the racetrack on this particular lap. And that's the reason why, because Caleb Phillips and Zachary Lombard both went into the outside wall after making contact. Well, once again, congratulations to Josh Mudd on winning here at Darlington. At the bottom right corner, folks, is the point standings. Look at this. Joseph Lombard with a 108-point lead over RJ Bishop. Justin Perry 3rd points, 137 back. Caleb Phillips 4th points, 150 back. And Ryan Marin rounds up top 5 points, 195 back. And Jaron Calabin rounds up the top 10 in points, 389 back. Well, folks, the next race will be at Richmond International Raceway for the running of the Chevy something, you know. And that race will determine who will be the 12 drivers to make the chase. Top 10 will be locked in, and then the 2 wildcard spots. But once again, congratulations to Joshua Mudd on winning here at Darlington, the winner of the Southern 500. Folks, we will see you at Richmond.